Hello, hello. Hey, ladies, I got a special episode for you today. So, today we're going to get into health and wellness. We're going to look at the overlooked traps that keep women stuck. So, we're going to get into that though. So we're going to teach you how you can get your health in order and get your money together. So, you can stack your money and also stack your health in your favor. So this is going to be very good. So, we're going to go over that. And yes, this conversation is going to be all about the hidden traps that's keeping women stuck in both their wealth and their health. And I'm going to teach you and tell you, and my guest is going to tell you what to do about it. So, my special guest is Bonita Ward. So, she is the CEO of Elevation Consulting and the Money School for Kids. So, she's teaching people about finance and how to be able to learn about how to use money properly and how to set realistic goals with your money. So, Bonita, thank you so much for joining my show. And this is going to be a conversation that I'm going to enjoy.
Thank you, Solomon. I am looking forward to it myself. I really appreciate you. I think that we don't have enough conversations like this. So I'm looking forward to our conversation as well.
Yes. I am too. I am too. But wow. Yes. So Bonita. So let's get into what you told me today earlier. I thought it's so amazing. The five got yous of money. So can you break that down so we can let the audience know about that?
Absolutely. So, Solomon, one of the things that I am
Mhm.
so passionate about is helping women, especially women, to not fall into certain money traps. Okay. And so, the five got yous that I want to talk about on today are going to help us to be become familiar and
Okay.
recognize some of the traps that will allow us to get stuck, as you were talking earlier about.
Hmm.
So the first one is loss. All right. We all know that the stock market, everyone tells us about the stock
Hmm.
market. Come and get your money, put your money in. And
Hmm.
I'm not against that. They sell you on getting, 10%, 20%, 30% returns on that. But one of the problems with that is when you just have your money in one place.
Hmm.
One of the things that Warren Buffett said, he had two rules. The first one is that he said, don't lose money. All right. The second rule that he said was, don't forget the first one. So when you are talking about losses, we want to make sure that when you're going to invest your money, or someone is selling you or pitching on where to put your money, one of the questions that I want women to ask is, can I lose if I'm in this particular vehicle? All right.
Okay. I like
Because
that.
yeah, it will I lose? Because if we don't know the question to ask, then surely we won't be able to get the correct answer. So that's a
Mhm.
very important question that we must ask. Can I lose if I put my money in this particular vehicle?
Okay.
Okay, now when it comes to that, people say, well, yeah, the stock market is going up and down. And so let me make it plain. Let's say that you lose 10%. The stock market goes down. That means that you would have to come back and have a 12% uh, raise. The stock market would have to go up 12% for you to even get back to the money
Hmm.
that you lost. But the greatest loss is your time. And
Oh
if
my
we
God, that's something
know,
that's
yeah,
something that you don't get back.
come on, you don't get your time back. And so people say, oh, the market has recovered. But yes, but do you have another 5 to 10 years for your money to recover in order
Hmm.
to prepare for the future? And for most women over 40, we don't. We have
Exactly.
to be preparing for the future. Okay. So
Hmm.
the next gotcha that is one that I feel like is so overlooked, especially among women, is our health. Now, most people ask me at this point, Solomon, how does money and health go
Hmm.
together? Well, one of the things that we know and understand is that our money is tied to our health. If you can't go to work, will you still have money coming in?
Exactly. Most people will not, and then that's why it's so important for them to go and work on their health, and then they can get more things done. They'll have more energy. They'll feel better, and to
Exactly.
make it easier for them to go and just live their best life. But most people just put it off when they're just in chase of making money until something bad happens. So yeah, so that's my field,
Exactly.
So, but you don't
Yes,
want to. The fitness has to be a non-negotiable. That health has to be a non-negotiable.
it has
Otherwise,
to be.
life is going to keep coming at you. Life is going to keep coming at you, and a lot of times I say too. I would think about this, Benita, is a lot of times with the women, for the most part, they want to go and do things their way on their terms, but not on life terms, and they wonder why things don't work out, and they wonder why they keep getting the same results. You have to deal with life
And
on life
let's be
terms.
honest, how
Exactly.
many of us are that superwoman?
Hmm.
We're the mom, we're the head of the household, a lot of us are the sole breadwinner. We wear so many different hats as women. And so
Hmm.
we have to make those adjustments, because if we don't have our money in the right type of vehicles, that's why when something does go wrong, like you talk about,
Hmm.
our money is hit, and then our health is affected. Did you know, Solomon, that bankruptcy, the number one thing most people file bankruptcy for, is because of health expenses?
Oh
The
wow, I didn't know
bills
this.
that, yeah, it's because people don't cover all of their health bills. Your health
Hmm.
insurance covers so much, but it's a lot of things. God forbid that if you should have a long recovery time and you don't have the proper coverages that cover that extra time
Hmm.
that you need, now that becomes an expense. That's a bill. And most
Hmm.
people end up filing bankruptcy to try to get out of those expenses. That's why your health is so very important, and it is connected to your
Hmm.
wealth.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I
Another
agree.
one of your gotchas, the third gotcha of money, is taxation. Most people don't understand taxation. So there's three simple ways that I explain taxation to, and most people, to women especially. Do you want to be taxed now, taxed later,
Hmm.
and taxed never? So let me ask you, Solomon, which one you want to be? Taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never?
Tax never, and then that's actually how the wealthy be able to make more money because they have a business and they have write-offs. But the
Come
problem
on.
is a lot of times people don't want to take a chance, and then so for the most part, people they have these good jobs, but when it come down to them, making an investment in themselves or putting up some money, they just
Come
want
on.
something that's for
They
sure.
don't know. They don't
Uh-huh.
know where. And that is how the wealthy continues to be wealthy, is because
Hmm.
they are having their money in those type of vehicles, life insurance, annuities, those type of things that are taxed never, versus us who are being, most of us go to our jobs and we're talked about and we're told about 401ks or 403bs or 457s, right? Well, those
Hmm.
are tax delayed, tax later type of
Hmm.
vehicles, right? Where that when you get ready to retire, Uncle Sam say, hey, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna let your money grow. Go ahead. Yeah, grow it real, real big. And then by the time you get 59 and a half to your 73, now Uncle Sam is saying, okay, now you can go ahead and withdraw that money, but I want my portion. And do
Hmm.
you know that portion is much bigger because the lump sum is much bigger versus it being smaller? So
Hmm.
that's taxation. That's something that we as women have to know, where we want to put our money where we
Exactly.
don't have to be taxed. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
And the fourth gotcha of it, listen, inflation. It's here, y'all. It's been here. Over the last 50 years, inflation has been anywhere between 3 to 10%. And right now, it is at 2.3%. But here's what the problem is, Solomon, that most of us don't have money in vehicles that are outpacing inflation.
Exactly. Hmm.
All right. All right. In the state of Illinois, where we both are, all
Hmm.
right, it is said that you need to make six figures plus in order to survive. But the average person right now is only making $24,000 a year. They're not outpacing
Hmm.
inflation.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a problem. That's a problem because we don't know. We don't know. We
Hmm.
think our jobs and we think we need a raise. Well, guess what? Most of us are not getting the raises that we need. Even if you got a 2% or 3% raise, that is not outpacing inflation if inflation is at 3%.
Hmm.
It
I
means that
like
I
that.
need to
Yep.
have a raise of 5% or higher to outpace inflation.
Yeah, there you go, Bonita. That's a great point, though. And yeah, and it also switches up. A lot of times, people they don't recognize. Okay, your job. If you could not do your job, they have somebody else doing it higher
Right
within
away.
a week or two, or probably even sooner than that. So just,
Okay.
but you have to say, okay, what can I do that I can also be able to better myself? How can I invest in myself? And then for the most part,
Absolutely.
people when they leave school, they don't work on stuff and come down to personal development and ways they can make
No,
money,
they
or
don't.
they don't spend time on that though. They spend time on just as soon as they're not at work, what can I do that's fun? What can I look forward to this
Exactly.
vacation? Versus
I
what's going.
deserve this. That's the
Uh
famous
oh.
word that I hear all the time.
Uh
I
oh.
deserve this
Uh
because I
oh.
worked so hard, because I did this, I did that. But do you deserve not to be broke? Do you
Yep. Yep.
deserve to be healthy? Those conversations are different from
Mm-hmm.
what you're talking about having to be deserving of. So
Exactly. And
that's a
yeah.
deeper conversation.
Yeah, and
All
then this
right.
how I say because the word deserve, I kind of have a problem with that though. It kind of brings up some entitlement vibes, but really in life
Yes.
you get what you earn. You get what you
Mm,
earn, and you get what you
that's it.
plan for. So that's how I
Absolutely.
look at it. So
That's the part I
mhm.
want to talk about. The part you plan for. The wealthy plan. The poor just goes by the seat of their pants. Whatever goes, whatever is happening in the moment. We don't plan. So therefore you already plan to fail when you don't plan. All
Mhm.
right. The last got you of money is procrastination.
Oh, I know about that with people, and oh my god, especially in my business, people want to put their health off and
Oh
put
my
it off,
goodness.
put it
Come
off, and do
on.
something fun. Yeah.
Come on. Because, again, that kind of goes back to I deserve this. I had someone tell me, well, I've been working all these years, so I'm going to take this money and I'm going to do this. I said, is that going to help you in the long run?
Mhm.
Because for a temporary moment, yes, you will enjoy, but will
Mhm.
that 6 months, a year, 5 years from now, how will that affect you?
Mhm.
Procrastination is something that now I can teach you the first four that we talked about. I can teach you where how to avoid losses. I can teach you how to make sure that you have money to cover your health challenges and health concerns along the way. All right. I can help you to know how to get around taxation. I
Mhm.
can even help you to know how to get beyond inflation. But
Mhm.
guess what I can't really do, Solomon, is
Oh
help
yes.
people stop procrastinating.
Oh yeah, so yeah, exactly. I mean, really, really, the only way that you kind of can do that though is that you have to have different ways to bring out a sense of urgency to get a person to act
Yes.
now. So but then
And
still
that's
something has
it.
to
Well,
be
we're
there.
going to give you the information, and hopefully, when we give you and educate you on the importance of what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, this fires you up and gives you an urgency to be able, because procrastination every day is costing you in these areas that we talked about. It's costing
Mm-hmm.
you in your money. The more you procrastinate, the more you're going to take losses, the more inflation is going to hit you, the more taxation is going to get you, and the more your health is going to be affected when you procrastinate. So that's the five got yous of money. And I leave you with that because I see where when we
Mm-hmm.
procrastinate in our health, come on and talk about it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Solomon.
So speaking of that, I think so. We're gonna go. I'm gonna piggyback more into what Bonita said on the health. So yeah, so I see this all the time. A lot of time with the health, the women want to go and just put it off, and then it's robbing their confidence. They haven't wore
Yes.
those amazing outfits that they haven't wore in years. They haven't felt the same. They haven't felt like how they felt before they had their first kid, and they keep getting more busy and more busy, and they keep getting more bigger, and they keep making more excuses. Say, well, I don't have time. we all have 168 hours in a week. So, so there's a person just taking the time to be more cautious, or just it's just that I'll think about this today, Benita.
Yes.
People have to pick a side. So, do you want to be on the side
Mm,
of the people that are healthy and fit, and they got the
mm.
energy and they're looking their best, feeling their best, or do you want to be on the side of people who are overweight
Wow.
and then they're sickly and then they're having health problems? You got to pick a side. So,
Mhm.
whatever your daily habits is, you're going to be putting a chip in which side.
Yep.
So that's what it is. So you have to go and pick a side because
Yes,
people want to say,
sir.
well, they say everything in moderation, but for the most part, you're gonna have to decide and pick a side, and you have to set what we call smart goals. The goals have to be
Yep.
specific. It has to be
Yes.
has to be measurable, achievable,
Mhm.
relevant, and time bound. But most
Yes.
people don't have no type of clue. They don't know how to properly set goals. Like I said, even regarding finance, but especially the health.
Especially,
So that's what people
especially
need
in
to know.
finances too. They go hand in hand because you got to have those smart goals. You are so right.
So yeah, so now we're gonna dig more deeper into the health got you. So we're gonna dig into that though. So and this is what I see people that they're suffering so much. So the
Yeah.
average Black American woman in America is 5'4" and she's 187 pounds, and the average non-American, uh, the average non-Black woman is what 5'4", 160. So definitely the weight is definitely a problem. So the weight comes from a person not being aware and not having the proper habits. And then the other thing is a lot of some of the women they're having issues with their joints. They're inflamed. So you have to
Mm,
go and heal that from the source. So, or otherwise, you're going to always be having knee pain and hip pain and joint pain. So you have to go and stop eating the foods that's causing the inflammation. So yeah, and it's going to show up in different areas. It's going to show up in belly fat, your brain fog, joint pain. Now we're going to get into the second health got you. We're going to get into the one that a lot of times women go and suffer from, which is alcohol dependency. A lot of times they're
mm,
addicted to alcohol. They use it for a coping mechanism. So after a long day, instead of them wanting to go for a walk, so they want to go and just drink some alcohol. A lot of times the women are going to do a bottle of wine a night just so they can just deal with the pain of
wow.
their job and their life and things not going their way. So, and when a person has alcohol in their system, your body is not burning no calories till every drop is gone because your body treats alcohol like a poison. So that's what most people don't know. So especially it
Yep.
causes all kind of other issues and but yeah, but definitely just and I see women know you can have stuff. You have to uh, change the things that trigger you to have alcohol. So when you're stressed out, you have to go say, okay, what can I do? That's positive that's not going to have me to put another chip in the overweight or unhealthy, side. So okay, so man, okay, so I'm upset about what happened in my job. Okay, let me go and just write in my journal for 5 or 10 minutes. Let me go do 5 minutes of 4, 7, 8 deep breathing. Let me go and do my workout. Let me go do my meal prep. So what can you do that can move you toward the person that you want to be? And now we're going to get into the next one, but you have to.
Hold on. Let me stop you
Yeah,
right
sure.
there, Solomon. And let me ask you because,
Hmm.
there was a time, and it's been a time where they started talking about wine has healthy properties. Can you
Hmm.
speak to that?
Yes,
You
I
know,
mean they say that. I mean, but really, it's not really true because your body handles wine as a poison. So how can it have healthy properties if your body handles it as a poison?
all right, red wine is better than white wine
Yeah.
because it had,
So
yeah, that, yeah. So, okay,
yeah,
okay.
so yeah, so, I mean, I guess you have it every now and then, but for the most part, when a person, especially too, like how I'm by another example, by women, women are supposed to be smaller, so when a person is smaller and they're drinking so much alcohol, it's more dangerous,
Yeah,
So on top of that, I think, so yeah, so but definitely, yeah, just wine, your body handles it as a poison, So just
yeah.
so those are kind of issues, and now we get into one of the other ones about the third health got you is lack of strength training. So women lose on the average of with 3 to 5, what is it, 3 to 5 pounds of muscle starting in their mid 20s or so. So that's why they want to, man, why is that my shape is changing? Okay, because you're losing precious muscle by you being older, and then you haven't been, prioritizing your fitness to stop it. Like a lot of times, especially the women, a lot of times when they're stretched out to eat like one meal a day. So when you're eating one meal a day, that's going to cause all kind of problems. That's going to damage your metabolism. It's going to do that. It's going to cause all kind of
Mm.
issues. And yes, so, but definitely, but just you have to go and prioritize having more muscle in your body. So when you got more muscle and more strength, you can move around better. It's like you said, you have a grandchild, you can play with your grandkid, you can carry
Yes.
groceries. Yes, and then just it improves the person's shape and it just makes you be able to move around and get more things done. So you can have a nice, healthy, amazing looking body with some muscle and some structure. Just say the muscle gives your body the shape. Just like I myself, I'm a certified glute specialist. When a person has
Okay.
more the muscle on their glutes, it shapes the body and it just makes the person look more better. And a lot of times people have knee pain, lower back pain. Usually that comes from having weak glutes or even hip pain. So by
Mm.
having more stronger glutes, that helps you to be able to not have knee pain or lower back pain, because the average American has a sedentary job where they're sitting down,
Yeah.
sitting down, all day. So it causes issues. So now we're going to get into the fourth health issue. So they're overwhelmed and then they're stretched out. So they're stress eating. So a lot of times the women are having food addictions. So they got these food addictions, that they've been having for the last 20, 30 years.
Don't take away my chocolate, Solomon. Don't
Uh,
take away my chocolate.
actually, we need to. I got something for you though. Speaking of that though, you can have chocolate, but it has to be cacao. So you can switch to
Okay.
having a healthier version of cacao, CACAO, and that actually has more fiber in it. It has more
Okay.
protein, and it actually can help you be able to build your muscles. But it
Okay.
got to be at least 70% cacao, 70%.
Okay.
Just most people can't really handle it being 80%. And yes, it has a little bit of a bitter taste, but just switching to a healthy option, like we said earlier. So that'll help you right there, having
Yes.
cacao. So definitely just controlling the triggers, the stress
Yeah.
triggers. But you have to go and just say, okay, I know I have a lot going on, but this is more important. The health and fitness has to be the non-negotiable. It come down to
Yeah.
you prioritizing. And this other thing that I wanted to talk about though with you all is most people are waiting for motivation, so they want to feel like it. But motivation comes and goes, and most of the time you're not going to feel
Absolutely.
motivated. But discipline lasts longer. But guess what, y'all?
Absolutely.
Discipline does run out at a certain point, at a certain time of day, certain time. Discipline runs out. So the only thing you really can rely on, this is the advanced way that makes it easier. You can rely on systems. So systems is something you can rely on. So if you had the right systems in place, the right kind of structure, yeah, it's which that also go into the next one and come down to system is number 5, the lack of structure and lack of accountability. So if you actually had the system, the right kind of accountability, or even having a coach that can hold you accountable to a higher level and they can make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. So the coaching with the systems definitely is like the easiest way to stay on track. So just most
Yeah.
people are not consistent, and then the one about, man, okay, I don't feel like it. I have this going on. You're gonna always have things going on, but just life.
Always.
To me, I look at it as things going on or circumstances are life's way of testing you to see how bad do you want
You really
results.
want it.
But
Yeah.
most people don't want it that bad, and that's why it shows in their action. So they can say anything, but what you do says it all. So yes, so definitely. I want to thank you, Benita, for giving
Thank
us this
you.
information, and then definitely just we're gonna definitely work together, because definitely she has different things that help women and help people, and people definitely do need advice regarding their money, their finances, and I specialize in their habits. So Benita, how can they reach you about your offerings and also your services?
Oh, thank you so much, Solomon. This was an amazing time and conversation. I look forward to future ones.
Hmm.
But they can reach me on all my social media platforms at Bonita Ward, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. You can find me. You can also email me at info.elevationcrservice@gmail.com, or you can use the good old telephone. We still use those, 773 830. Okay, those are the ways that you can get in touch with me. I would love to have a conversation with you concerning how to put what I call a money plan together. Because it goes back to what Solomon just said.
Uh-huh.
If you don't plan and don't have the discipline or systems in place, then you already have failed. So thank you
Mhm.
again, Solomon, for opening up this conversation for us. I really enjoyed it and I look forward to it.
Yes, yeah, man, Bonita, thank you for coming. I also enjoyed it so much. Yeah, so ladies, you have to go and do both. You have to go and prioritize your finances and your health. And ladies, this is summertime. I know that you all are going on vacations, going on trips, and all that stuff is fine. But imagine how you can feel if you actually went and just finally made your fitness a non-negotiable. You finally went, and just made the first step toward you actually getting the help. You've been trying yourself for the last five,
Mhm.
10 years. And I'm sorry, that's not baby fat. So those are results of your unhealthy habits you've been having, and you not
Absolutely.
making your fitness a non-negotiable, and you've been putting it off. So I have, once again, where you can fill out my application, and I'm also leave beneath this information in the description if you want to go and get your finances in order. So, all right, child, remember, God wants you healthy and fit. The devil wants you to procrastinate, put it off, and make excuses and talk about how busy
Absolutely.
you are. And you are stronger than your excuses. You are stronger than your
Come on.
experiences. I love you all, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, guys.
All right, see y'all.